Hi everybody, I'm Robert Linkle. Welcome to Be Stronger Fitness and to trainingtheolderadult.com. Today we're going to talk about lateral mobility stability and progressing our clients from a traditional hinge all the way up to a lateral step up and or lateral lunge. First component that we're going to work on is proper hinging mechanics. I have other videos on this that take you through all the different hip hinging from the floor all the way to standing, so feel free to check that out. Basic understanding from this point is that we're going to learn to displace the hips, keep their back nice and straight, and work on finding a hamstring stretch. Once that's mastered, we're going to teach them to open their feet and to do lateral hip hinges, side to side. You can also add in a side windmill to that as you come down to each side, learning to stretch the hamstrings, the glutes, and start to get the adductors involved. Eventually move them to a lateral hip hinge, down into a slight knee bend, just working on a lateral lunge adductor stretch. Okay, we're already working on the proper mechanics to get them to repeat a lateral lunge mechanic, more or less feel the hamstring stretch and the adductor stretch first. To progress onto lateral movement with some elevation, we're going to teach basic mechanics of a step up. So we'll teach up, and switch. If they need band assistance, we'll put that up here for them for security until they feel they're really comfortable mastering that product or that movement. Then we can progress on to the next one. The lateral step now, from different heights, I'm starting on a 6-inch. Eventually I can work up to a 12 and so on. We use that Q frame, or Q component of staying inside the frame of the box. So I want to take my weight 50-50 and I want to shift it over to my right leg. So my weight is now inside the frame. I'm going to drive off of this leg, pushing down and back while I laterally step up onto the box. I leave my kickstand out to help with my balance, and then I return gentle to the floor. Drive down on the box, kickstand, return to the floor. Once that's mastered on both sides, we can elevate height. Again, I can use the band if I need a little bit of support while I do this, or just to one hand, okay, to help them stabilize. You're going to see the knees start to wobble a little bit too. Make sure you're securing, making sure they're locked down on that. Once we have a basic understanding of how to do a low lateral step up, moving on to a high lateral step up, again, band assisted if needed. We can start to add load, overload with just one weight on one side, alternate loads, a waiter with a suitcase. Okay, you can work different transitions, what we call lateral step up and over, lateral step up and over, introducing different challenges of lateral components and a step-up component before we're ready to move to a lateral lunge, which is probably one of the more challenging movements our clients are going to do. Lining up in this direction so you can see my knees and my hips as I learn to displace. We've worked on that first idea, usually during our mobilities, where we're going to work on hip displacement back, stretching this glute, adductor stretch on the inside as I sit laterally, sitting into here. My toes are square. I'm about twice as wide as my hips. I'm going to learn how to sit into basically a single leg squat. Loaded here, if I were to inch this leg over, I'm in my squat mechanics. I'm putting my leg back out, trying to encourage an adductor stretch as I come down. We'll start a client set up in this position, holding a weight, lateral lunge, have them contact the weight to the floor and return. Lateral lunge, contact, and return. We'll get both sides done. Eventually we'll build them to the point where they can transition laterally from both sides. Then we'll move to a goblet, double goblet, or dual dumbbell front squats. Eventually we'll start to progress. As we go down the line, wherever you want to hold their weight, we'll have them go right to left, step up and over, right to left, step up, step over, right to left, step up, step over. And at this point, we've pretty much mastered the idea of moving laterally, transitioning laterally, hinging laterally, stepping up laterally, introducing lateral components, which a lot of our falling aspects come into real life here. We want to make sure our clients are capable of moving in all different directions. Usually the lateral aspect to that is the one that we miss and we kind of ignore the most. The majority of our falls occur in the backwards direction. We do a lot of that through our movement prep, our transitions back and forth during our warm-ups. A lot of our carries we'll do forward and backwards. We'll do displacements in some of our lifts, pushing ourselves down and back. We'll do drags going backwards. But think about how few lifts you do laterally, other than lateral shoulder raises, band laterals. That's about it. So introducing this bit into your training program on a semi-regular basis is going to do a lot of justice for your clients. It'll bring some good security to them and to you, knowing that they're capable, comfortable, and strong performing these movements. Take it slow. These are odd mechanics for people that haven't moved in a while or that don't move well laterally. It's very odd for them to learn this. Take your time, use your bands, master the step before we go into the lateral lunge. Some of your clients may have knee, hip, back issues that just aren't going to allow this. Almost all of them should be able to do some step-up variation laterally though. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comment below. I'll be sure to answer them. Have a great day. Check out any more information on us at trainingtheolderadult.com. Education Week, live sessions, live mentoring, live events here, all of our online webinars, etc. You'll see it all on there. Thank you very much. Have a great day.